I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I coach people and organizations to be more effective. I do that in a variety of different ways. I'm not going to go into that now. You can find out more at my websites. TheBigGameHunter.us is one that deals with professional issues. No BS coaching advice deals with more personal things. And one thing I want to acknowledge, I am a very rabid New York Giants football fan. I've been so since I was a little kid growing up in the Bronx, and the Giants played at Yankee Stadium a few blocks away from where I live. I went to a Giants game as a kid and saw the one game in their initial season that the Cowboys did not lose. They tied the Giants. It's like the Giants were drunk that day when they came out to play, and the Cowboys tied the Giants that day and finished 0, I want to say 12 or 13-1. Whatever it was the one I was there for. So last season was a disaster for the Giants. A team that made the playoffs the previous year now finished 3-13. Now, I'm not going to rehash all the bad stuff. I want to look forward to what's happened since the new leadership has taken over the Giants and try and apply it to you in your role in leadership within an organization, joining an organization, and seeing where there are lessons that you can take from this experience. So the first one is real clear. Are you your manager or leader, because again, I don't know if you're at a manager level or at a C-suite level watching this, and the ownership all on the same page? Now, when Tom Coughlin was the coach of the Giants, there was a point where ownership got frustrated with him on more than one occasion, and they forced an offensive coordinator on him that he probably didn't really want. And the team took a step backward, but the idea was our offense is old and antiquated. There's a new type of offense. Let's get this guy in. And when there was a point where they decided to force Coughlin out because they didn't want to lose the offensive coordinator to the Eagles, and because there was concern about some of Coughlin's play calling and decision-making during games, they promoted someone, and that was an ownership decision more than it was anything else. So now we have a new situation where management has hired a general manager who's hired a coach. And the first question is everyone on the same page with the changes that are going to occur? The GM likes to run a particular type of offense. The coach seems to like to run a particular type of offense, but it's a little bit different than the one that the GM has run. Not radically different. He's got more skilled players than this GM has ever had. So I just simply say, understand during your interviewing whether or not everyone's on the same page with what's going to happen next. Now, with that, for you in leadership, once you have that ostensibly, we're all on the same page, what can I do to affect change? Now, often you're replacing someone. I want you to keep the same team in place and just, be yourself and run these people. Doesn't work that way. Often what happens is these are the ones that cause the other individual to leave because they couldn't accomplish what they were set out to do. So you have to make sure in your interviewing how much you're going to be able to affect change, because otherwise all you're doing is moving around deck chairs on the Titanic. And for this 3-13 team, there was a lot of expectation that this one backup quarterback was going to be the successor to Eli Manning. They had 2 other quarterbacks in place, and they cut this guy and decided that he was not the solution. That partially, I'm sure, related to the play of the quarterback, but it also may have dealt with the issues related to, perhaps they wanted to send a message. So look ahead. Decide what, or figure out in consultation during your interviews whether or not you can actually make the changes that are necessary after you've had a chance to look around. So the next thing is, with the new person, as the new person on board, does everyone that you're going to be taking over from really understand the new system? What's going to be changing? And that can be communicated very quickly once you're on board, because you'll see very soon whether or not these are people who are on board with your decision and will actively engage in undermining your choices and make it hard for you to be successful. There's statistics on employee engagement that basically translates into, in the US, we have the best numbers on employee engagements in the world by far. And the needle's barely been moved, and we're at approximately 32% employee engagement. And of the remaining 68%, there's a large number that aren't just simply, not engaged, but they're actively disengaged, meaning they're doing things to subvert you. Catch that one. They're doing things to actively subvert you. So, what can you do to change things? How can you change the culture and affect change and ensure that the team that you inherit is on board with what you're trying to accomplish? And if not, get rid of them. Do not waste time. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200 with them. Get rid of them. Now, that's going to be, HR is going to get involved with that and go, oh, these are people have been